Have you been feeling like your body has slowed down lately? Becoming easily tired, less focused, or losing that sense of strength you once had? Many older adults over the age of 60 have shared with me that each morning they no longer feel as refreshed as they used to. At night, they often wake up multiple times to urinate, sometimes as many as 3 or 4 times. Even from just a faint urge, they still eat healthily and go for regular walks, yet their inner vitality seems to fade with age. In fact, this is not uncommon. As we get older, age-related hormones begin to shift. The prostate may become slightly enlarged, pressing against the bladder and making it harder to control the urine flow. Male hormones also gradually decrease, affecting mood, energy, and overall performance of the body. But the good news is that many of these changes you are experiencing can actually be improved naturally, without the need for medications or complicated treatments. In today's article, I will introduce you to 3 familiar types of seeds that many people have never considered as helpful tools for supporting male vitality, energy, and prostate function. They are small, easy to find, safe, and especially well suited for older adults. And at the end of this article, I will reveal a simple tip that very few people know about. It takes less than 5 minutes a day, but can significantly reduce nighttime urination and gently improve overall vitality. Before we begin, if you find this content helpful, I invite you to leave the number 1 below. If you feel it does not apply to you, please leave the number 0 so I can listen and improve in future articles. Many people after the age of 60 have shared that they feel their body is gradually slowing down over time. Some who used to be diligent about walking every morning now find their legs feeling heavier and become easily short of breath when climbing stairs. Others, even with regular meals and sleep, they still wake up 2 or 3 times at night because of the urge to urinate. This often leads to fatigue, mental fog, and a lack of motivation the next morning. If you see yourself in these stories, you are not alone. In fact, according to the National Institute on Aging, more than 65% of men over the age of 60 experience changes in urinary function and male vitality, such as nighttime urination, mild leakage, reduced energy, or a loss of interest in daily activities. These conditions do not come on suddenly. They develop slowly and quietly over time, leading many to believe that this is simply a normal part of aging. However, from a biological perspective, the reasons behind these changes are quite specific and can be adjusted if we understand them well. First, male hormones tend to decline gradually after the age of 40 and more noticeably after 60. This affects not only mood and memory, but also slows down metabolism and the body's ability to restore energy. Second, the prostate gland, which sits just below the bladder, may begin to enlarge slightly over time. As it grows, it puts pressure on the urethra, the tube that carries urine, making you feel the need to urinate frequently. It may become difficult to empty the bladder completely, or you may still feel pressure after urinating. Some people even experience mild leakage when coughing, sneezing, or before they can reach the bathroom in time. Third, the ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, which helps the body retain water at night, tends to decrease with age. When this happens, the body produces more urine at night. This is one of the main reasons why you may wake up in the middle of the night, even if you did not drink a lot of water beforehand. The issue is that when these symptoms appear together, they not only reduce the quality of sleep, but also affect your mood, mobility, and overall vitality. Many people gradually lose their sense of enjoyment and purpose, thinking their body is simply past its prime. In truth, your body is simply asking for a new kind of care one that matches the natural rhythm of aging. And sometimes that care does not begin with medicine or complex medical treatments, but with a few natural foods. If used at the right time and in the right amount, they can strongly support your male vitality and urinary health. So what are these foods? And why can 3 familiar types of seeds make such a noticeable difference in the changes that come with age? Walnuts. When you were younger, you probably didn't pay much attention to how blood circulates in your body. But after the age of 60, circulation becomes a vital factor for overall health, affecting memory, sleep, muscle strength, and vitality. And one of the most valuable foods that naturally supports circulation is the walnut. I remember a former patient of mine named Tom, 68 years old, living in Michigan. He was a meticulous man, a former bridge engineer, and very health conscious. Yet during a routine checkup, he shared that lately his body felt sluggish. He was slower in the mornings, and his mind no longer felt sharp. What worried him most was the feeling that he was no longer himself. I asked him about his diet. Tom said he still ate clean and walked for 30 minutes every morning, but he often had to get up at night to urinate and had trouble falling back asleep. I suggested something simple that many people often overlook: adding walnuts in the evening, about a small handful, roughly 4 to 5 nuts. The reason I recommended walnuts was not because they are trendy, but because they are a natural nutritional bank for blood vessels. Walnuts are rich in L-arginine, an amino acid that helps the body produce nitric oxide, a signaling molecule that allows blood vessels to relax and function more efficiently. When we are young, the body produces a lot of nitric oxide. But after TREADS, levels decline rapidly, making it harder for blood to flow, leading to colder hands and feet, and especially a reduced supply of blood to energy-demanding organs, including the prostate and bladder muscles. In addition, walnuts are one of the few nuts that contain high levels of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation and support heart health, according to a study by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health in 2022. People who ate walnuts at least 5 times a week had a 15% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and showed better cognitive function after age 65. After 2 weeks of following this advice, Tom called me back sounding excited. He said, "I didn't expect such a small change to make me feel like I've regained my energy. I wake up more refreshed, urinate less at night, and most of all, I feel strong again." Many people believe that only medicine can improve blood circulation, but the truth is, the body already knows how to adjust itself, as long as you give it the right fuel. What I like most about walnuts is not only their nutritional value, but also how simple they are to use. You don't need to blend them or prepare anything complicated. Just chew a few nuts thoroughly each night before bed. These nuts not only calm the nervous system thanks to their healthy fats, but also support better circulation during rest, which is the golden time for restoring vitality. If you are experiencing fatigue, frequent nighttime urination, or a loss of inner strength, walnuts might be the first choice you should consider, because when blood flows well, the entire system, from the brain to the urinary tract, runs more efficiently, and as you will see in the next section, only when blood circulation is opened up can other organs like the prostate and hormonal systems begin to function in harmony. But to significantly enhance physical vitality, we will need another special type of seed, and you may be surprised by what it can do. Pistachios. After improving your blood circulation with walnuts, the next step is to enhance the performance of your entire physiological system. This is where pistachios come in, playing a surprisingly important role. If walnuts are the path openers for circulation, then pistachios are the ones that strengthen the function of internal organs, helping the body not only feel stronger but also more refreshed and full of life. I recall a familiar patient named Richard who was 72 years old and lived in Arizona. He was an active and cheerful person, but he recently shared that his body was present but no longer responding. During his evening walks, he found himself walking slower, feeling more breathless, and lacking the enthusiasm he once had. It was not a serious condition, but it made him feel like he was losing a part of himself. Richard had tried a few dietary supplements, but none brought noticeable improvements. He asked me if there was a simple food that could support his health in older age. I smiled and said, try a small handful of pistachios every afternoon, about 30 grams, consistently for 3 weeks. Don't expect a miracle, but give your body a chance to respond. In fact, pistachios have long been studied for their potential to support male function and age-related hormones. A study from Ataturk University in Turkey, published in the International Journal of Impotence Research, showed that middle-aged men who consumed 100 grams of pistachios daily for 3 weeks experienced significant improvements in physical and mental performance, including flexibility, stamina, and overall satisfaction after activity. Why are pistachios so special? First, they contain a high amount of arginine, an amino acid also found in walnuts, which helps boost the production of nitric oxide. This widens the blood vessels and increases blood flow to active organs, including the pelvic area and the prostate. Second, pistachios are one of the nuts with the highest antioxidant scores, thanks to compounds like lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin E. These nutrients help reduce chronic inflammation, one of the silent causes of declining hormones and energy in older age. Third, they are rich in phytosterols, plant-based compounds that help regulate bad cholesterol levels, thereby strengthening blood vessel walls and improving heart health. When the heart works efficiently, blood circulates better to muscle tissues and the urinary system as well. After about 2 weeks of eating pistachios each afternoon, Richard called me and said, I don't know exactly what changed, but I feel like I have real strength again. I'm more alert than after a cup of coffee. It feels like true energy, not a fake boost. What's remarkable is that this effect didn't come from quick stimulation like medication, but from rebuilding the body's natural foundation of vitality. Pistachios also come with another advantage. They are easy to eat, require no preparation, and are best when unsalted. Just eat them slowly to aid digestion. A small handful after lunch helps regulate blood sugar, calm the nervous system, and recharge your energy for the afternoon. If you've been feeling low in mood, physically sluggish, and lacking vitality, pistachios may be the snack that helps you regain your inner drive and spark in a natural and lasting way. And once you've laid the groundwork for good circulation with walnuts and added lasting strength with pistachios, the next step is to support your hormonal balance, something Brazil nuts can do gently, yet surprisingly effectively. San, Brazil nuts. If walnuts help open the pathway for blood circulation and pistachios maintain the body's endurance and performance, then Brazil nuts are the final key, activating the body's central control system for hormones, internal balance, and deep vitality. I remember a patient of mine named Gary, 66 years old, living in Seattle. He was still sharp, energetic, and even rode his bicycle every week. But during our first conversation, he shared something I've heard from many people his age. He said, I'm not tired, I'm not sick, but I no longer feel excited about the things that used to make me happy. This isn't just a matter of mood. It's a sign that hormones are silently declining, affecting vitality, motivation, and the body's ability to recover, and in most cases, this is linked to a tiny yet powerful trace mineral, selenium. Brazil nuts are one of the very few natural foods that contain a high amount of selenium. Just one nut per day is enough to meet 100% of the selenium needs for middle-aged and older men. Selenium plays a vital role in supporting the body's natural production of testosterone, helping restore feelings of strength, flexibility, and clarity, helping the thyroid and prostate glands function steadily, two key organs in regulating hormones, combating oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, which slows down cellular aging and gradually improves male function over time. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, stable selenium levels in the blood are directly linked to better testosterone production, improved bone density, and stronger immune function in men over 60. When I advised Gary to eat one Brazil nut every morning after brushing his teeth, he looked surprised and asked, "Just one nut?" I nodded. Too much selenium can have the opposite effect, so one is enough. And just as I had hoped, within about 3 weeks, he started noticing clear changes. His mood was more stable, he no longer felt foggy in the mornings, could concentrate better at work, and most importantly, he felt a return of his vitality, naturally, without any sense of force or stimulation. He told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I'm not back to being 20 again, but I feel like I'm truly living each day." One interesting thing is that Brazil nuts are not available in every supermarket, but you can easily find them in organic food stores or order them online. The important part is this: just one nut each morning, consistently every day. When the prostate is cared for, hormones are reactivated and your mindset becomes more positive. That's when the entire system of aging physiology enters a phase of natural long-term recovery. But is there a way to combine all three of these nuts in a simple, effective routine that doesn't take much time each day? The answer is coming next. And it may just be the key to helping your body function more smoothly and harmoniously than ever before. Once you understand the unique benefits of each type of nut, walnuts to support blood circulation, pistachios to enhance physical performance, and Brazil nuts to restore hormonal balance, the next important step is this: how to combine them in a practical way and maintain consistency each day. Many people have asked me, "Doctor, if I want to use all three types, when should I eat them? And how much is enough?" That's a great question. Because in nutritional medicine, it's not just about the nutrients themselves. The timing and combination also play a major role in how well your body absorbs and processes them. Let me share the story of a patient named Dan, 71 years old, living in Texas. Dan was someone who loved learning about health. He had tried eating walnuts for a while, then switched to pistachios. A few months later, he read about Brazil nuts and decided to give them a try. But after a year, he came back to see me and said, "I haven't really felt much change, even though I ate all three types of nuts." At that point, I asked him a simple question: "Did you eat them consistently every day?" He hesitated and said, "Well, not exactly. That's the reality. The body after 60 doesn't need massive changes, but it does need stability. The nutrients in these nuts don't work like a quick fix. They act like fuel that gradually warms up your internal system, slowly restoring weakened functions. But if you stop halfway, the results won't be complete." So I gave Dan a simple routine. It takes only about 5 minutes a day, but can bring noticeable improvements in 2 to 3 weeks. In the morning, right after brushing your teeth, eat one Brazil nut. No need to rush chewing. Let the nutrients be absorbed while the stomach is still light. This helps activate the hormonal system and protect the prostate at midday, after lunch, or before resting. Eat a small handful of unsalted pistachios, around 25 to 30 grams. This is when hormone activity and metabolism are at their peak. Pistachios help stabilize blood sugar, boost circulation, and supply energy for the afternoon. In the evening, about an hour before bedtime, eat a small handful of walnuts, 4 to 5 nuts. Don't eat too close to bedtime. And don't overeat. Walnuts support circulation during rest and promote deep sleep and natural energy recovery. After following this routine consistently for 21 days, Dan returned to the clinic with a completely different spirit. He said, "I feel motivated every morning. I'm no longer sluggish or gloomy. My wife even says I've been cheerful and more alive lately." That is what I've always believed. Your vitality hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting for you to wake it up again. And the beauty of it is, you don't need to do anything drastic. Just a little each day. These 3 types of nuts, 3 small pieces of the puzzle, form a simple, easy to follow nutritional foundation that's incredibly effective for male health and urinary wellness after the age of 60. So if you've been feeling that your body is slowing down, or your inner energy isn't what it used to be, to the journey to restoring it can begin with this small, consistent habit. Growing older does not mean the end. It is simply a stage where the body needs to be heard and supported in the right way so it can continue functioning fully and with vitality. Throughout this article, I have walked with you through 3 types of nuts that may seem simple, yet they are silent companions for men's health after the age of 60. Walnuts help open the path for blood circulation, forming the foundation for the brain, heart, and urinary system to function more smoothly each day. Pistachios boost the body's performance, helping you feel refreshed and energized from within without the need for stimulants or medication. Brazil nuts, small but rich in value, have the ability to gently awaken the hormonal system that may be slowing down, bringing male function back into balance and strength. If each day you take just 3 moments, morning, noon, and night, to nourish your body with these 3 types of nuts, you are giving yourself a real chance to regain flexibility, better manage nighttime urination, and gently feel your inner vitality returning in a natural and lasting way. You don't need to do anything big. Just 1 Brazil nut in the morning, a small handful of pistachios at noon, and a few walnuts before bed. 3 small steps that can lead to 1 big change. If you found today's content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel or follow the page so you won't miss upcoming guidance on nutrition, gentle exercice, and natural solutions to support male health in later years. And if you're already using any of these 3 nuts, or have your own personal experience to share, please leave a comment below. Your story may be the motivation someone else needs to start their new journey. Your body is still waiting to be cared for the right way. And today is a perfect time to begin